first, welcome to Phoenix.
Appreciate it.
Just what's it been like for you, this whirlwind of getting here and get some workouts in and trying to, because Coach was talking about the idea that obviously you want to play and that would be the goal by the end of the season to do that. Maybe just speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, appreciate the Suns giving me an opportunity. Got here right after All-Star break around earlier this week. Met the staff, met everybody, just getting acquainted, getting acclimated to everybody, and trying to just get right to work. Do whatever it takes to get back on the court as quickly as possible, and working with the training staff and the coaches and figuring out the plan is.
How again, I know you want to play, but what's maybe the optimism for that, considering that there's only like 26 games left in the season, for you to actually get on the court and play?
I mean, I'm here to play basketball. In the day, that's what I want to do. So we'll figure out when that happens and go from there. I'm gonna continue to put the work in, control what I can control, and just go from there.
Last thing I had was watching you work out yesterday. You had got a dunk in, and I was just curious what that even does for you, confidence-wise, when you're able to plan and go up and elevate like that.
Right. Well, I mean, I think yesterday. Okay, I did it. I was trying to think which dunk you were talking about. I had a couple, but yeah, I mean, it feels good to be able to dunk again. Obviously, coming off a knee injury, and that confidence, that mental confidence. It's always the aspect of coming back from injury of the mental side and the physical side. So obviously, getting back to dunking is great for my mental, and overall, I'm just blessed to be able to dunk again. So feeling good and getting better each day.
It seems like your positional versatility has always shined throughout your career, just in the way Spo used you. How do you feel like that's going to be able to carry over the way Phoenix is playing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, I'm a guy who can play with, anybody. I'm going to go out there and compete defensively, fit in, do the little things, do whatever it takes to win. Obviously, with this group, I have a great group here, a lot of great players, superstar, D-Book, and other good players like that. So, I'm just going to bring my versatility defensively and everything, try to fit in where I fit in at, and go from there. Obviously, this is a playoff team, so, I've been in the playoffs before. I know, them high-stake moments and them key moments, so I bring a little bit of experience there. So, I'm excited to be here.
It would come from Miami. Obviously, it feels like with the culture they have, it feels like you can't get on the court if you're not defending and packing it. It feels like that's how you carved out your niche there. How do you see some of those learnings and things like that you gathered there translate over to the Suns?
Yeah, I mean, the Heat, the first really NBA 10 game opportunity, and I learned a lot there defensively, work-wise, just how to approach every day to be a pro. And I think that's really helped me in the long run. Obviously, I built some good character around the league, and a lot of people respect me. I think just overall, bringing that winning aspect, bringing that experience, and just knowing how it's going to be each day. And like I said, playoff moments, huddles, timeouts, being there for the young guys here as well. Like I was in Brooklyn, I was a leader there. So just trying to bring everything I can and just be a good vet, a solid vet.
As you've shown more defensively on tape over and over again, how much does that feel like increase your value around the league and coaches and other players' eyes?
Yeah, I mean, defense is, one championship. So, if you can guard a lot of different positions, your versatility, that can help a lot of different teams. You can switch a lot of different pick and rolls, different schemes, stuff like that. So I feel like that's very valuable for any team around the league to have a versatile defender like me. You can guard 1 through 4, sometimes to 5. So, they respect me as a defender, and I'm going to keep proving them that, I'm one of the best versatile defenders in the NBA, in my opinion.
You see the Heat culture, you see the uniforms, the culture here. They talk about it a lot, bringing the right guys in. What do you think was a good fit to come in here for you?
Yeah, I think from playing the Suns this year, even though I didn't play when I was with the Nets, I can just tell that they play hard, crash the glass, pick up full court, gritty, tough. Even watching the game last night, Spurs, I saw some of that. Obviously, you got Dylan Brooks, one of the grittiest, toughest defenders. Jordan Goodwin has been a good defender this year as well. So that fits right in with me, just guarding the ball, picking up, being tough, making it difficult, and just being that tough, gritty defender, and making it hard for imposing teams.
You mentioned offensive rebounding. Obviously, that's something that the Suns emphasize. It feels like that's something you had like the green light to go and do with Miami. How do you see that part kind of helping to translate to not just being able to go for old boards, but also the way they use it to start picking up and starting their defense too?
Yeah, I think offensive rebounding is picked up in the last couple of years as far as teams. You've seen a lot of different teams just try to get extra possessions, try to win the possession game, and that can be the factor that determines the winner or loser of the game. So I think for me, I've tried to lock in on key moments where I can crash. Obviously, out the corners, when I'm already down there in the dunker, and creating extra possessions that can make more points, get you more points, and also like you said, it can start the transition defense where you don't get the rebound, picking up full court. So I think that the offensive rebounding it starts the transition defense and the pickups and all that. So I think that kind of ties in with each other.
How
At what
excited are
point-
you
Go ahead.
how excited are you to share the floor with this backcourt? You got Devin, Dylan, and then obviously Colin and Jordan. Just a lot of guards on this team.
Yeah, them guys can score. I was watching Jalen Green last night. Very good scorer, young player, electric. For a lot of different three-level score. D-Book, obviously, game speaks for itself. And then Colin has played great this year, and Jordan Goodwin has played solid this year as well. So having guys like that, around me who can create offensively can only help me offensively as well. And obviously, I'm here to help them on defense and take the load off of them and guard the best players.
And what tests are they having you do? Or what have been the more challenging tests to try to work with the knee and getting it right?
So for right now, I just doing like a lot of strength tests, movement, change direction. I don't think it's really been challenging. I just think it's trying to get the hang of it. Get back into it. I haven't done some of these movements in a minute, so it's getting better each rep, each time I'm doing it. So just trying to just get more comfortable with it, I would say.
Last thing I had was, at what point in your career were you like, you know what, I have this frame, I have this body, and that enables me to guard multiple positions? When did you make the transformation to being able to do that as part of your game?
I think when I got with the Heat, for sure, they kind of brought it out of me. And they also got my body right, because when I first got into the NBA, like with the Sixers and then G League and all that, my body wasn't fully, how it should be, like ripped up, in shape, and just strong in the right areas and all that. So overall, I think the Heat got me in great shape, gave me the tools as far as, the schemes and just doing a lot of reps in game, playoffs, that kind of gets me more comfortable as well. So the Heat really pushed it out of me, and from there I just kind of took over and, owned it, and, and I love it. They call me the locksmith or whatever, but, I haven't played in a minute, so, I love it for sure.
When you first heard the locksmith nickname, what came to you? Were you like, oh, this is cool, or did that
Yeah,
grow in you?
I was like, this is cool. I'm gonna just roll with it. I didn't give myself the nickname, so
Right.
I'm just gonna roll with it. Yeah.
There's got to be a marketing opportunity.
Maybe,
there, right?
maybe I'll reach out to some locksmith companies or something.
Offensively for you, I think two of the things that stood out with Miami, especially your last season play, you talked about the dunker spot, but also I think knocking down your corner threes. Have you seen being able to operate in the dunker and being able to knock down those corner threes kind of add to your offensive impact?
Yeah, obviously being the guy who's gonna play off the ball a lot, hitting corner threes is a great skill to have. Playing with some of the superstar players, open corner threes are one of the most efficient shots in the NBA right now. Dunker spot. Sometimes when guys are getting blitzed, and having that guy in the dunker in the short roll type stuff like that. So just being able to play off the guys who have the ball in their hands a lot. Obviously Devin, Jalen, Colin. So just trying to fit in there, and that's kind of who I am. Three and D, but also can do a little bit more than that. Just fit in and do the little things, stuff like that. Yeah.
Those of us who watch the Suns every night, I don't think they're surprised at where they're at after seeing it kind of come together in October and November. But just from a 30,000 feet NBA perspective, when did you kind of start to take note of what they were doing this year and how well they're playing?
Yeah, I think when, like I said, when I was with the Nets and I was watching them, nobody really talked about the Suns coming into this year, obviously with all the moves that they made. But I think they're just a gritty, tough team. They play hard every night, and they give themselves a chance to win every night. And when you got guys like D-Book, like I said, Jalen obviously hasn't played a lot this year because of the injury, but I think, we got guys like that, give yourself a chance to win every night. So, they proved a lot of people wrong, and, they have a lot of talent. So, it makes sense where they're at.
Last one I have for you, we talked about it. We talked about it. You coming up from the D2 level and the kind of journey and how much adversity you have to work through and find your way to navigate through. Can you just speak to that journey and how gratifying it is to see where you are now and how you're received off of that as well?
Yeah, obviously I've played a small school. Had to really work my way up and build that equity, and really prove myself. Obviously, coming into with these teams, they're looking at the college I went to and some of the other colleges other guys went to, and it's kind of I'm already kind of you know, behind the bubble in a sense. You know, they're looking at me a little differently. But, you know, once I come in and prove, you know, I'm just as talented, or, you know, I can stick around with these guys, you know, they respect me. So, you know, I would say just the journey that I've had has been, you know, up and down, up and down. I've just stayed with it, try to work my hardest, control what I can control. And, you know, God has blessed me to be able to be in this opportunity, you know, playing in the NBA for whatever, how many years I've been here. So, you know, it's been a great ride, you know, and I wouldn't change anything about it. It's made me stronger mentally, physically. You know, I played overseas, been in the G League. You know, it's the ups and downs, you know, that make it fun, you know, and I wouldn't have it any other way, you know. So, anybody out there that's, you know, at these smaller schools, you know, trying to figure out what's next, just keep going, keep fighting, you know. Your dreams can happen overnight. Just keep working. Yeah.
Thanks, Haywood.
Yep.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
Real quick, I was